Yeah, g'day there viewers, Mr. Shawnee Thompson poking along, not bad, thanks. Welcome back to another episode. So in today's episode we're going to go over Jill. Jill is behind us. It's a 2017 Royal Flair Family Flair. 2017 model. It's off-road caravan. We've just picked it up from Carafix in Arundel on the Gold Coast. Beginning of the year, about 7 months ago I think it was, we had our awning blow off. Yeah, awning ripped off. I'll put a video in. Awning ripped off. It did hell of a lot of damage to the top of the van, all this whole side. Got a heap of scratches up the side of the van just from this leg getting thumped around. It basically, it pulled that out and yeah, tore the tin up as you saw in the video. And yeah, so basically every panel on this side of the caravan had to get replaced. So we've just picked it up from the insurance company, Carafix, up in Arundel, as I said, on the Gold Coast. Mate, absolute cracking guys up there. They did their utmost to get us going. So when the awning got ripped off initially, when the awning got ripped off initially, they sourced us a brand new awning, but second-hand legs, just to get us going, because there was a 4-month wait on the actual cladding. This grey paneling, they had a 4-month wait on it, so they couldn't actually do anything until now. So the accident sort of happened in February, and yeah, so they couldn't get the job done till now, but they sourced us a brand new awning and some second-hand legs, just so we had an awning on it so we could continue our travels around Australia and continue on our journey. Now, so the purpose of this video is just going to make a quick little video going over the Royal Flair and the stuff we love about it, the stuff we don't like about it, the stuff we change about it, the stuff we, yeah, anything, all the changes that I've done to it personally, and yeah, just that sort of thing. So first of all, I'll start at the back and I'll work forward. So at the back. I want to put the jerry cans from the front, and I want to put the jerry can holders on the back. It's got one spare tyre, which is great, fantastic. It's got the back bumper, has got 3 bars on it, and I'm told it's a 300 kilo rated back bumper on this one. I put a cage on the back just to put our boogie boards and the dog beds and wet gear and stuff like that in it. I put that on there, and yeah, it's been fantastic. I've got the tent pole holder in there. I'm going to change that and move that up to the front, because out west, where is it? There is a heap of stone chips all in it, and there's basically holes in it, so I've got to change that. Now, the other thing that old mate, actually, the bloke that did the job on this at Carafix, actually, he saw us when we just pulled up there and we went and were hooking Jill up. He said these Royal Flairs, he said he's been working in the caravan industry for 6 years, and he said they've never, not once, had a caravan come in that hasn't had water damage in it, and this did not have water damage in it. So, excuse me. Hey Pap. Oh no, sorry, so I had to answer the phone. So basically at the back I had to put the cage on the back. We put all the boogie boards and the paddle boards and the dog bed and that in there. Things I'd change here, I'd probably get rid of the TV antenna thing outside and put another one of those drop down tables, but have like an external port there. Without that, we probably don't really use the outside electrics too much. Dunny, picnic table. I'd put another picnic table here too, probably move that light and get another picnic table, just so that when you're working on the barbecue, this is where our slide out barbecue goes. Obviously it's not in there for the moment because of the work we've just had on it, but just so that it had another picnic table, so when you're cooking on the barbecue you had somewhere just to put stuff, because yeah, it's not really walking back there to get bench space and that, it's just, yeah, doesn't really work. Up the front we want to get another toolbox to sit on the front. Obviously we've got to think about ball weight and that sort of stuff. With the 200 we're pretty safe, we've got plenty of ball weight there, but we'll move these to the back and then get a toolbox that sort of comes out to here and fills in that gap a bit nicer, and then have doors on it so you have a drawers or whatever you want in there, just for a little bit more storage at the front there. Around this side probably wouldn't change too much on it, but the one thing I do want to do, and yeah, just couldn't be done while we had the van in, is underneath the bunk bed here is put a door in there. So this door up here that goes on this side of the tunnel boot, so this is the tunnel boot on this side, get that same door and put it at the back there under the bed. We saw a can't remember the brand. One when we were at Gregory Downs up near Corumba, they had one in it, and they had all their chairs, which is easy access. Their bunks are actually on the other side of the van. Our bunks are on the right hand side on this one, but yeah, easy access to under the bed. A lot more easy access, because at the moment you got to lift the batteries up, lift the little panel up. It's just a pain in the bum. So yeah, a door under the bed externally would be sensational. Just make it a bit more easier just to get stuff in and out. Probably wouldn't change too much on this side. Actually, one thing I would do, I would put a sail track. I'm probably going to still do it. Put a sail track on that side, and then get it one of those, you know how you get the mats for your awning? You can slide it in the sail track. I'd get one of them and put it across there so you can peg it out, just get a bit of sun off this side of the van when we are in those hot locations out west, because Birdsville, it was hot, and this side of the van heated up all day. It was in the sun, and yeah, it was bloody hot in there. Third water tank underneath. We'll go back to the back and we'll go underneath. Things I have changed, I put these bigger mud flaps on the back, just because we broke that there off in Birdsville, on the Birdsville track, and that tap there got pretty shattered, just from the stones and that, just from the rock damage and gravel rash and that. That's grey water tank at the back there. Obviously I have put all this protection under there to protect all the pipes as much as we can, and we honestly haven't had an issue. Things that I love about this caravan is the suspension setup. So when we're second owners of this van, and when old mate, sorry Uncle Baggy, when old mate got it built, he actually ordered it with the independent suspension in it. But when he ordered it with the independent suspension in it, he put an extra 50mm box in there, so that there is meant to be welded on that bar up there, but it's an extra 50mm higher, so it's really tall. It sits nice and high off the ground, doesn't have much body roll. It's got the stability control in it, so that's happy days. The only thing that they did do, because it's just an out of the box sort of a van, these wheel arches are still that deep, so that tyre has got to go up like, you know, a good 400mm before it's going to touch that. So what they could have done to compensate for putting that much in is they literally could have gave us more inside storage by bringing these wheel arches down to sort of there, like probably the same profile as that there. Would have been perfect, but they've left them with the same, and that's a little bit annoying, because you lose a lot of storage under the seat, especially under the seat, and not so much under the kitchen. You could make the drawers and that a bit different, but that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, I'm going to change the tyres, rims and hubs to, I'd love to go full hydraulic braking system. Everyone knows that drum brakes they're awesome, but they're a pain in the ass. I want to go same hubs as what's set up on the 200, so all the tyres are interchangeable. I want to go full 35-inch tyres on the caravan, same as the car, just so my spare on the caravan, it's all interchangeable, all rotate, all that sort of stuff. Just make it easy. If I get a flat on the van, I can use one off the car, off the van, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's the ultimate goal. So other things I had to do, put these mud flaps on here, try and protect the water tanks a bit more. There is a big gap, as I said before, that's where your stability control is up in there, but there's a massive big gap in there. So what I want to try and do is I'm going to try and get a smaller water tank and just put a bit more water up there. So if you have a caravan with kids, you know the little buggers go through a lot of water. So yeah, we're going to try and put another water tank up in the middle of the axles or behind the axles. I want to try and go in the middle of the axles just to keep the weight over the axles so they're carrying most of the load. Haven't had an issue with any of the Cruise Master suspension under here. It's all been fantastic. These bolts here came a little bit loose, just on the corrugates. No fault of the suspension at all, it's just the corrugates were that bad out at Birdsville, as I'll show you in some of the videos. And so we've worn out one of the tyres over there, so that needs to be fixed. And yeah, Anderson plugs on the side. That one there is for an external solar panel that can be plugged in without a regulator on it, so just a standard solar panel, you can plug it into there, but it doesn't go straight to battery. So I've put this one on this secondary one which goes straight to the battery, so I can actually get the compressor out of the car. I've got an Anderson plug on the compressor, and I can use the caravan to power to pump the tyres up and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's just a few little things on the outside that we change. But as I said, I've got no affiliate with Royal Flair. They don't pay me or anything to do this video, so I just, yeah, we've really liked the van. Obviously you could change 1,000 things on it. There's always something you want to change on it, but the McKitch, awesome piece of gear. Jockey wheel, piece of crap. This is a cheap one. I don't know what I'd do for a jockey wheel. Yeah, just one of those things. Yeah, gas bottle holders. We got rid of our 3-way fridge. The 3-way fridge in this caravan was my nemesis. I hated it with every ounce of my soul. The first time I plugged in the 3-way fridge, it was a Thetford 3-way fridge. Nothing against the company or anything like that. I'm sure they make great products, but the fridge was my nemesis. It used a full 9-kilo bottle of gas in 3 days, when the very first time we turned it to gas just to check it to make sure it worked. As I said, we bought this caravan second hand. Yeah, full 9 kilos of gas the first time we turned it on in 3 days. I was like, wow. So what I did was I actually wired it up, so when you've got the car plugged into the caravan, it sends a signal wire so that it actually runs the fridge off the 12-volt system on the car. So the alternator is actually charging the alternator the alternator charges the batteries on the car. It's hooked up to the batteries on the car, so that it's running off the batteries onto the car. So I changed all that and made it so that it could run off 12-volt on a flick of a switch. When you hit the 3 little buttons on the thing, I could change it so it would run off 12-volt manually. So my idea was, when I first got the fridge, I didn't actually fully understand how they worked, and now I do. That was a silly move. So what the plan was to run it on 12-volt all day, switch it over and run it on gas at night, because it used so much gas. That's what we're trying to do, save the gas. We plugged it into 240, worked fantastic on 240. But yeah, just sucked the juice out of it, just because of how they work. They use a heat up an element to make the gas do something, and that's how they work. So it just draws a crap load of current while they are on the 12-volt system. So that's why I would go, yeah, that's why I try to do that. So anyway, we ended up getting a brass monkey. I'll just take you inside real quick and I'll show you the brass monkey. Mate, absolute cracking little fridge. So we got ourselves a brass monkey. It's a little bit smaller. Actually, it's a lot smaller. The Thetford fridge was 200 litres, and the brass monkey's 138 litre fridge. So it's fantastic. It's literally got a plug in the back. It's turned off at the moment because obviously we're getting some work done on it. So it just had a cigarette plug on the back. I cut the cigarette end off, put a Anderson plug on it, and mate, it's been running flat out we had it in there for 2 weeks. Went to Bunnings, bought a beautiful little wine rack, just had it sit in there. I've got to make up some sort of door in there, but fills in the hole nicely. Brass monkey, mate. 12-volt, uses bugger all power. Yeah, so absolute cracking little fridge. Now we'll move to the inside and I'll show you everything about the inside that I personally don't like, what we change, and that sort of thing. Yeah. Alrighty, so I thought I'd just bring you out here real quickly. So as I said, we've just got it back from the repairers. I unplugged the fridge before we left. That there is literally the 12-volt wire so I put in to run the Thetford 3-way fridge, and there are just some other wires and that were in there. So literally it's just an Anderson plug. That's the only thing on there. Plug it in and boom, it's done. So I put a zippy tie around that just so that it doesn't come unplugged or rattle loose or anything. That's how I've mounted it in. Got some bits of aluminium, angle iron aluminium from Bunnings, there, and put a bit on the side and just screw it into that side bit. Same as, don't know if you can see up the top. I've done the same thing both sides, and mate, fits like a glove. Absolute cracker, and it looks really good. Magnetic door seals on it, so there's no clips or anything that can break. Magnetic door seals on it, as strong as an ox. Yeah, we had, what we do, yeah, the kids have trouble opening it, so. And you know what kids are like when there's chocolate in the fridge, they want to get the chocolate, so they'll figure a way to get in there. So they have trouble opening it. So absolute cracking, mate. Yeah. Okay, so back inside the van here, one of the major things that I would change in this caravan is the battery situation. So we've got one battery under the bed and we've got one battery under the lounge. So the battery under the lounge sort of sits in the center over that wheel. All the inverter, we've just, sorry, excuse the mess under here, we've just shoved everything under here while it was getting fixed. The inverter is under here. There's a heap of power cords and stuff that run around the back. Now, when this bloke that we bought it off, he got this caravan custom made, as I said, and he has done an absolute cracking job, and absolutely no offense to him or anyone like that, but when they built this van, they put all the off-road suspension and everything under it, and they've done a fantastic job of that. But the 12-volt system, it is shithouse. There is no 12-volt system in this. Oh, sorry, there is a 12-volt system in it. 100 amp hour batteries, 200 amp hour batteries that were both buggered when we bought it. After 2 years, so which is whatever, I'll put new batteries in it. There's no plugs anywhere, there's no 12-volt plugs anywhere. I actually wired these up, so I put these in here myself. There's got all the off-road suspension on it in the world, but as long as you plug it into a caravan park when you get there, so you can run the aircon and the washing machine. The lights work off the 12-volt, the water pump works off the 12-volt system, and the fridge now works off the 12-volt system. That's it. One solar panel on the roof, 120 watt. So I bought 240 amp hour batteries. I put another solar panel on the roof. I'm going to move everything from under the bed, all the batteries and everything from under the bed, and put them under the lounge. So you bring the weight to where it should be, under the lounge. The Thetford fridge was, the old one was, I think they said it was about 45-50 kilos heavy. This new Brass Monkey, I think it's about 30, so I can pick it up by myself. Like, it's awkward, but I can pick it up by myself. Yeah, so there's no 12-volt plugs anywhere. The TVs in the kids' room, the little drop-down DVD players, they run off to the 12-volt system. You can run them, but the inverter has got 2 plugs either side of the bed, so charging your phones, you still had to turn the inverter on to charge your phone. So if you wanted to run the inverter all the time while you were off-grid camping, which is what we love doing, where it just, yeah, there's no 12-volt plugs up this end of the caravan at all. There's nothing in the bathroom. It was just, yeah, really weird to have massive big off-road suspension on it with 25mm bars, as I said, and then just no 12-volt plugs anywhere. I didn't get it. But anyway, that's how they set it up. That's how they customized, made the van. So that's nothing to do with Royal Flair, nothing to do with anything else. But yeah, I had to do a lot of modifications. So another modification is there's no fans anywhere. So yeah, again, plug it in, run the aircon when you get to wherever you're going through all the off-road suspension. So that was really hot when we were out west. So lucky we did it in the middle of winter. We've got bought one of those $60 Audi fans, and we run a lead to the back to the bed. So I'm going to change that, put some 12-volt plugs at the back, but again, you run into, it's not going through the BMS, so you don't know how much power it's drawing, how much power it's using, all that sort of stuff. They're all running straight to battery, which is a real pain in the ass. The other thing, I'll just show you quickly, the BMS is up in here. It's a cracking little unit, but we have had power problems with it. This here is the cord that runs the remote for, so that's your on off for your, that thing there, that little box was actually up in there, but over the corrugations there has been a short in that line there, and they tell me that the electrics for the van run up through the roof somewhere and then back down this corner over here and back to there. So they had a short somewhere. The inverter died, so once the inverter died, we couldn't charge any of our Milwaukee batteries. Sorry, we have a Milwaukee fan as well because there's no 12-volt fans in the caravan, which is a real bummer. So yeah, once the inverter died, we couldn't charge our 12-volt batteries, our Milwaukee batteries, because we had no inverter. So I had to do a bit of investigations, and yeah, worked out there that wire has a short in it somewhere, but it runs through the roof, which is another silly idea. So moving that to here and putting all the battery system to here, it just makes more sense because it's there. So you literally got to run wires down the wall and to the seat rather than running all these wires back over the bed. There's some wires that run under the floor, there's some that run through the roof. It just, that there's really dumb to me. Obviously they've done it for a reason, for weight or whatever, but it's just stupid. Like, why would you put it under the bed? Yeah, anyway. So we're going to get the inverter and we're going to put it under the seat. We're going to put the other battery under the seat. We're going to put run a new wire up to the top for the display screen. I've heard you can get Bluetooth display screens and that for the inverter, so we're going to do that. I'd love to get a full off-grid system put in the van, but to do that, it's all the panels have got to come off so they can do all the wiring and that again to find out where everything goes and runs and all that sort of stuff. So enough to run microwaves, washing machines, and all that sort of thing. This thing leaks like a sieve, and what I mean by that is it leaks dust like a sieve. I'll show you. This cupboard here, that's the pump. So it leaks dust like a sieve, mate. It is not dust proof at all. It has got this little cover here that you're supposed to open, so as you drive forward it scoops the air and forces it down. All that cover does is cover your dust in. Sorry, battery went flat on the GoPro. Had a bit of run this time. So yeah, that's basically our plan with the 12-volt system, is to put everything from under the bed, under the lounge, just to make it, you know, in one spot. It'll be a lot easier trying to fault find and stuff like that, because let's face it, you got a caravan, you got a house, you got anything, you're going to have a few issues you're going to have to deal with. Doesn't matter what brand it is, whatever, you're going to have issues. Touch wood, we haven't had many issues with this. So yeah, another thing that I would change, what were we talking about, wife and I were talking about, the window behind there. We'd probably put a bigger window in and get rid of this, because you don't, like, realistically, you're not, for us being younger with kids and that sort of stuff, you're not cooking much inside, you know, we're boiling kettles and stuff like this. So theoretically you probably don't need a big four burner gas cooker in here when you're just, you know, using a kettle and a saucepan at, you know, 2 burners at max. You know, that's probably all you need. So a bigger window up there. You don't need the big flamethrower grill thing. It might be a legal thing, I don't know, but we do all our cooking outside on the barbecue. You know, you're in a caravan, you obviously go on caravanning for a reason, is to live that sort of a life, and we cook outside. So yeah, the grill, we use the grill a fair bit. That's pretty sick. Microwave, don't use that too much unless we're plugged into power, which, yeah, we store our bread and our wraps in there. But yeah, another thing that I would do, which I've spoken to wife and we thought it'd be a cracker, because we live in the van full time, we haven't got much room for schoolwork and stuff like that. With the bunk beds, what we'd probably like to do is, as I said, we'd raise this one up a little bit and put that external access door into it. It's got drawers underneath it, which is absolutely fantastic for storage for the kids' toys. One drawer is one kid, one drawer is the other kid. But there's a big gap, like the kids are only small, they're only small kids. There's a big gap there. I'd put drawers in there, there and there, boom. Not that wide, thinner ones. Just drawers in there, just a little bit more storage, because, you know, kids got stuff. Obviously you've got to think about weight restrictions and all that sort of stuff, but we're way underweight. Drawers in there, just to, you know, books and stuff like that, colouring pencils and all that sort of stuff, because it's not really, you know, we have had rain days and we've had to, you know, lock them inside, and you don't want them sitting there watching movies all day. It rots their brain. Shower and toilet, fantastic. Wouldn't change much in here really. Yeah, probably a window. A window would be nice. But yeah, no, probably wouldn't change too much in there. It's pretty good. We always constantly seeing different ideas and stuff like that. But as I said at the start of the video, like, you can, you know, you get a van and you'd modify it and you customize it, and there'd always be something you're going to change. So they're just a few little things that I sort of, you know, a few little good, fantastic things that I love about the Flair. The big suspension, battery system not so much. Yeah, aircon works when plugged in, but yeah, we try not to plug in too much. We just, yeah, we love being off grid and camp next to riverbank and oceans and stuff like that. So plenty of room on the roof for solar on this thing. It's awesome. Tow's fantastic. Change the hubs and that sort of stuff, and yeah, happy days. So yeah guys, that's just my little review. We've lived in the caravan full time 100% of the nights, except for the past week. We've been staying at my wife's sister's place up in the Gold Coast while the van got fixed. We've been in the caravan since the 9th of January, so 9 months. 9 months every single night of the week, staying in the caravan. So we have had a bit of experience with, you know, what we're doing. Obviously, you know, there's people out there that live in them full time for 20 years or whatever, but, you know, we're doing it. We're constantly moving, constantly packing up camp, finding little nooks and crannies, different little ideas and stuff to do with things. But yeah, other than that, we're over the moon with it. Definitely buy another Flair. We love it. Those are the only little changes that I'd make. I'd buy another brand new one, and I'd go to the factory and I'd talk to the boys. I'd definitely get that suspension upgrade. I'd go full airbags next time, just so you can level it. Makes leveling a bit easier. And yeah, full airbags, and try and get hydraulic brakes and rims and tyres to suit the cruiser. But yeah, other than that, all good. Another little issues that we've had is these blinds constantly need adjusting. I'll just pop this open for you. That screw there is the only thing there's 4 in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one over there fell off. That whole blind fell out. Basically the vibrations on the road, the screw come undone. So, you know, it's, what do you do? Vibrations, corrugations, anything that moves, you're going to have loose bolts, rattly bits. Like a farmer, mechanic by trade, so stuff rattles loose. There's nothing you can do about it. Just put it back in, happy days. So Phillips head screwdriver is going to be your best friend. All the little covers and everything, I'll show you just quickly outside. I don't know how many times I've done it, but see these little screws in there? All those little screws in there on all the covers outside, they all just need a nip every now and then, just because it rattles and moves and stuff. So it's no fault of the van manufacturer or anything like that. I don't think Loctite or Celastic or anything like that would help it. But yeah, on this side you've got all these ones in there, so they come loose. Just nip them up. Oh, in here, yes, what I'm going to do in here is, it's a really deep long box. It's fantastic for long things, fishing rods, that sort of stuff. We've actually got our anti-flap kits in there at the moment. We're going to put a slide in there, so to make it easy, so you can slide it out, get the stuff in the back rather than having to pull everything out to get what you want in the back. It'd make it a lot easier. Obviously you only put stuff in there that you know, need once in a blue moon. But yeah, that's definitely going to happen, is put a slide in there. So yeah, happy days. Oh, better turn that light off. Yeah guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. For more content, you want to follow our adventures, our thong slapping around Australia adventures, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, thanks for your patience. Bye.